Hello everyone and welcome back to the lesson, and I hope you all are having a great time learning all about screen printing. And in today's class we're going to do some practicals on the simulated process. We have already done the color separations, and based on that color separations we are going to print now. So before we begin, I would like to talk a little bit about emulsions. So let's get started. Okay guys, so in order to print a very realistic image, whatever we have done so far, all the color separations in halftones, whether it is simulated process or single color halftones, that whatever we are going to do, emulsions plays a very important part. That's why I'm here to explain about emulsions. So I've got two emulsions with me right now, and it's a diazo based emulsion. So this one is it's called the CP Text. It's manufactured by Sati Chemicals LLC. It's based in US, and it's imported by Photokina in India. And then another one I have is Chevro DIW234 Plus. This is again manufactured by Photokina company, and both of these are diazo based emulsions. So you'll get a diazo based sensitizer, something like this, a bottle. So you'll get a 4 grams or 3.5 grams of sensitizer. You need to mix the water up till here and mix it well. Let the water and the powder dissolve, the sensitizer, and then you mix it. Once you mix it, then you thoroughly stir the emulsions nicely and store it in a very cool or moderate environment. So once you mix this, you'll get about 4 to 6 weeks of time to finish this. So it will depend on your climate conditions. Sometimes, in a colder places, probably it will work more, like 6 weeks or something. But on a general, around 4 to 5 weeks, it will be active. So why we have to use this emulsion is because it helps to open up all our tiny little details that are there in the halftones. It helps to open better, apart from other emulsions. So this diazo based emulsion has a long exposure latitude, which means that if you overshoot the timer, it can still burn, and if you undershoot the timer also, it can still burn. It is forgiving emulsions. It's not much of a headache for you to deal with this. So it is highly recommended if you're going to use any kind of halftones, then use these emulsions. Apart from this emulsion, you also need a yellow mesh to get the perfect printing or perfect burning, I would say, exposing time. So make sure you also use a yellow mesh count of up to 200 and above. Okay. So with the combination of these two, the right exposure timer, and also the yellow mesh, and also the diazo base. So the combination of these three will give you a very good result in opening up all the tiny little details in the mesh. Okay. So without further delay, let's now get started with the printing. Alright guys, so we're going to start with the gray base first. So I'm going to take the gray base to this color, if you can see this. So I'm going to apply a little bit of and I'm going to take the squeezy. First we need to flood this. And after that, I'm going to push this and get all the details out. So one stroke, this can be for coating the screen, and the next one is to clear any inks that is stuck in the stencil. Okay, so you can see the gray base is giving us that the very fine base, I would say. And since we have done the color separations, we have kept the integrity of the image quite well. And what we need now is to apply a little bit of heat And after that, we can put the rest of the colors. All right, so let's go and apply the heat. So I'm using a plastisol ink. So the ink is dried now. So you can see the details, it's already coming out in the gray base. Now when we hit the black, it will give us more rich in all the details. So that is the reason why we are using the gray base first and the black. We could have just printed black one first, but we could have missed a lot of details by printing only one screen. So in this kind of images, we need a very high quality print and preserving all the details. So that is why we have used this gray base. So now let's put on the other colors, and at the end of the thing, we'll put the black one. Okay, so the next color, I'm just going to put the blue color, which is this. It's like a cyan color. So since it has only a little part of the design, I'm going to put one here and one there. And I'm going to use a small squeegee to do it, okay? So I'm going to flood the screen for both the design, both the parts. And there you go. I'll heat this up. So it's looking nice. So now let's go and bring the other color, which is the green. Okay, so I'm going to take this green. Again, I'm going to put a little bit on here and just a little bit on this side as well. And I'm taking the small squeegee again. So I'm going to flood this one and this also. And let's push it. Okay. And I'm going to heat this up. All right, so now we have the gray base and the two colors. Now it's time to hit the detailing out of this image. So we'll get the black frame. Okay, so the black, we have inverted this, and also we have done the dot gain adjustments. So let's see how this turns out. So I'm going to apply the black. So when you're printing black, you have to be careful of how many strokes you do. Usually, when you're printing halftone, I would recommend you to do only one stroke, because if you try to do two strokes, then the dot gain, you'll feel a lot of dot gains and the image will become very dark. Okay, so first, just flood the screen and make sure you practice this a little bit. Try to clear the thing in only one stroke. Okay, do not put two strokes. So I'm going to put only one stroke, okay? All right, so I will not clear the thing. If I do that, then we will lose all the details. Okay, so you can see that the image is looking so realistic. It's so fantastic. And I think we have done a pretty good job. So all the combinations from the color separations to using the right emulsions and also using the yellow mesh and also using the right time, we got all the details out. Like I was mentioning, if we try to print only the black, then we might not get all these details. So that's why we needed that gray base, and we put the inks, the other colors, and then we hit the black at the end of the print. So you can see now all the details that is there in the design. So we can just heat this up, and if you have a conveyor dryer, you can dry there directly, or if you do not have a conveyor dryer, then you can use the heat press to cure this ink. Okay, so I'm going to first use the heat press to cure this the ink here. So I'm going to dry this first, and then we're going to use the heat press. Okay, so we are done. I'm just going to pull this up slowly. So we've got a really nice printed design, I would say. And now all this is left is to go and cure this. Once you cure, then you can wear this t-shirt straight away. Okay, so I hope in this lesson, it's something meaningful. You can try it out, especially the black. Try to get two of it first, one without the dot gain adjustment and one with the dot gain, so that you can see for yourself what is the difference and why we need to adjust the dot gains. So I hope that you will figure out and you will try to practice that as well and see the difference by yourself. So that's all for this lesson. See you in the next lesson.